Welcome, everybody. Everybody's summer's going well? Excellent. Well, thanks so much for being here. Looking forward to your questions. First off, I'm pretty disappointed in the vote today. And just it's really important that Oklahomans know what's happening. So there's two compacts that were at question. The one that I offered the tribes, I made this offer to all 16 tribes, and it is the same compact that they had last year. It's a 50-50 split. To put that in comparison, we wire the state of Oklahoma, the Chickasaws and the Choctaws, a little over 15 million last year. We offered them the exact same contract that they had last year. It was a 50-50 split. So in other words, if they sell the same amount of cigarettes at the same stores, they would get the exact same wire from the state of Oklahoma. So we offer that compact. The tribes have pushed a different compact with the legislature. It's the same financial split, 50-50. Okay, mine was actually for a 2-year extension versus the 1-year extension that they were pushing. So what is the difference? This is so important. So here's the two compacts, okay? So my compact basically clarifies. All it says is the provision of this compact shall establish and govern the rate of taxation and payment of taxes to the nation and the state on the retail sale of cigarettes and other tobacco products on lands owned by the nation and or its members, which are held in trust by the United States or which are owned by members of the nation and are subject to restricted title, okay? So that was the change that I made, and I said, this is a 2-year extension. This is a 50-50 split. Here's the one that the legislature voted on that was being pushed by the tribes. And what this says is nations Indian country as defined by federal law, including 18 U.S.C. 1151, herein referred to as compact jurisdiction. So what does that mean for Oklahomans? That means that if with this compact that the legislature just signed that the tribes were pushing is including turning eastern Oklahoma into a reservation. I am very clear. I do not believe that Oklahoma wants eastern Oklahoma to be turned into a reservation for all purposes. Been very clear about it. I know Oklahomans are with me on this, and I will fight as long as I'm governor to make sure that we're one state with one set of rules. Regardless of your race or where you live, we should all be under the same rules. And so that's the big difference. I just think that's really important. Two compacts, same financial term. So really the question is, why wouldn't the tribe sign the compact that I offered? It's only about this land, this question on 1151 that they're arguing on the Strobel case and the Hooper case, which hopefully we get some questions about that. So my team, we filed a lawsuit today at the Supreme Court, so it's already on file against Charles McCall and Greg Treat. That's the speaker and the pro tem. Those are the ones that are pushing this compact. And basically, we need the Supreme Court to let us know who has the authority. We think that it clearly is with the governor. So the compacts that I was showing you were signed by Governor Henry, Governor Fallin, Governor Keating, Governor Walters. We need the courts to tell us, does the governor have the authority to negotiate the compacts, or does the legislature have the authority to negotiate the compacts? So really excited for the Supreme Court to weigh in on this and let us know what we're supposed to do in these matters. So that's currently been filed, and I'll open it up to questions from you guys.
Ruling that the tribes could have already done this if they wished to go on to, Indian country. They haven't done it so far. So how do you respond to that argument?
So just because they haven't, I don't really understand the argument. I am not going to give the eastern part of my state away. As governor, I will not give an inch. I'm not going to make eastern Oklahoma reservation. I'm going to preserve our legal arguments. Here's what people most people don't understand, or they're ignoring. The tribes could still buy a gas station go through the process to turn it into a trust land, petition the Department of Interior to put that in trust. Actually, 7% of our state is already in trust. So when the tribe buys a piece of land, they petition the Department of Interior and they put it into trust. Then it comes off our tax rolls. We don't get paid property tax on it. But with this new language, what they're hoping to do is turn 42% of our state into a reservation. I don't think that's good for Oklahomans. I don't think people in Tulsa want that to happen. So, second thing, right now, in the Strobel case, this is so important that Oklahomans hear me on this. Strobel is a lady in Tulsa. She lives in a regular neighborhood in South Tulsa. She's an Indian, like I am. She has her Cherokee card or whatever card she has. And she is saying that she doesn't have to pay taxes in the state of Oklahoma, okay? All 5 tribes have signed a letter in support of her at the Supreme Court. That's currently at the Supreme Court right now. So what that means is you can have a doctor in Tulsa that doesn't pay taxes, and then a single mom of another race having to pay taxes, and yet we all go to Jenks High School, our kids go to Jenks High School, and we'd all drive on the same roads. We can't have a state where 10% of the population based on race doesn't follow the same rules everybody else does. I'll remind you of another case, the Hooper case. Hooper case was an Indian driving through Tulsa, and this person gets pulled over for speeding and gets a speeding ticket from the Tulsa Police Department. That Tulsa Police Department, by the way, has been cross-deputized. This person, this Hooper guy, takes this to court and says, I should not have to pay this ticket because I'm an Indian. This happened on reservation land. Back to the same definition I'm quoting you on the 1151. The court said, of course you have to pay a ticket. That's ridiculous. Everybody has to pay a ticket from the Tulsa Police Department if you're speeding. They take it to the 10th Circuit. The 10th Circuit reversed the lower court opinion and said, and remember, all 5 tribes agreed with Hooper, sent a letter and said Indians should not have to pay tickets or follow municipal guidelines in eastern Oklahoma. That means building codes, fire codes, everything. That is currently, now the city of Tulsa is appealing that to the United States Supreme Court. What Oklahomans need to understand is, do you want eastern Oklahoma to be a reservation for all purposes? Because this is exactly the playbook that the tribes are pushing for, and I am doing everything I can to protect Oklahoma and have one set of rules regardless of where you live.
Governor, if I could ask you, and I'll have to read the petition, or maybe you guys have a copy of it. I think that the Supreme Court, in what is referred to as Treatment Call 1 and Treatment Call 2, regarding the compacts that we signed with the Comanche Nation, the Otoe Missouri tribe, the Kailua Tribal Town, and the United Kituwa Band of Cherokee Indians, they ruled that you not properly negotiate those in a way that was approved by the legislature and had authorization for the games that were referenced in those compacts. How is this court case that you filed today different? How did the court not already determine that the legislature has a role to play in compacting in those other 2 cases? What's different now? Because as Andy referenced, Leader Eccles mentioned on the floor, this is already decided.
Yeah, I think you don't understand exactly what the Supreme Court said on that, on the Treat, McCall, verse 1 and 2. Basically, it said that the governor, if he's going to go outside of the model compact, in that cases of gaming, and everything is a little different. All the compacts are just slightly different. But on that one, it said that the governor negotiates. It never said the governor didn't negotiate. It just said when it expands or goes outside the model compact, then it goes back to the joint committee on the joint committee by the legislature to give an up or down vote. Okay, so those 4 compacts that were negotiated with the Comanches, I think Otoe Missouri's, UKB, and one other, that was in court order mediation, and we negotiated those in good faith, and we got them. There's a 13%, I believe it goes up to 13% on gaming. And those now will be sent over to the joint committee for an up or down vote. And then the legislature will get to either approve or deny those compacts. So that's what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court never said that the legislature can, in our opinion, the legislature can go out and negotiate with tribes. And I'll read you, there's Article 6, Section 8 of our state constitution that basically says that the governor shall faithfully negotiate all these shall faithfully execute and shall conduct in person or in such manner as prescribed by law business of the state with all other states in the United States. Also, then you've got section 74 in our state statute. The governor is authorized to negotiate and enter into cooperative agreements on behalf of the state. So basically, whether it's by constitution or by legislature, it's our opinion that the governor has the authority, historically speaking, and by statute in our constitution, to negotiate with tribal governments.
Governor, I might have missed this, but can you elaborate further on how the compacts in their current forms how they turn eastern Oklahoma into a reservation?
Yeah. So, for example, McGirt, on the McGirt ruling, it said that reservation was still in existence for the major crimes only. And now you're seeing the tribal governments argue that the reservations exist for all purposes. They're pushing for taxes on income taxes. They're pushing for the city of Tulsa not to have authority to write speeding tickets. So that's what I mean by moving to a reservation for all purposes. I think it's pretty clear. We can give you their briefs. You can read them. I'd love for you to publish them. That they argued in both the Strobel and the Hooper case.
Do you have any insight into how the religious lawsuit will affect the Blaine Amendment in the Constitution?
No.
And do you think the Blaine Amendment needs to be repealed?
And on that right now.
I know it's been part of your personal agenda to Oklahoma, some of your predecessors wanted that elsewhere. How do you feel about the new Fourth of July analysis with Oklahoma City second and Tulsa 11th? Or have you, in terms of young elections, or have you had a chance to look at it?
I haven't seen that, but I'm super excited. I mean, Oklahoma's top 10 in people moving to our state. We've got a fantastic economy right now. We've got low unemployment. We have people being very attracted to the state of Oklahoma. We want to be the most business-friendly state. So every day over my last 5 years, I'm pushing, I'm promoting our state. I want to take Oklahoma to the world, bring the world back to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is getting on the map everywhere. People are taking a look at Oklahoma to set up a business. I think it's the right spot to be located. I just want to make sure it's fair, and I hope Oklahomans, I think they agree with me, that we should not pass laws that favor one race over another race. Everything should be fair. We can't have a system where we have some people that do it one way and everybody else does another way. I'll tell you this, the Turnpike Authority, hopefully Oklahomans know this, the Turnpike Authority let me know that since we instituted Pate Play, so that's where they read your license plates, we have lost $4.7 million that we can't read tribal license plate. They're not in our system. That means they're driving on our turnpikes without paying the toll that everybody else does. Let's make our roads free for every single person, or let's treat everybody exactly the same way. We can't have someone with native heritage driving on our turnpikes, not paying a toll, and every other person do that. We've got to fix that. Yes, ma'am.
I have two questions. First, are you essentially saying on making Eastern Oklahoma reservation that the tribes are offering to expand where they can compact? And the second question I had is, Pro Tem Trick said last week, I believe, that if this 1 year period does not work out, he would look at removing your authority to negotiate. Can you speak to those two issues, please?
Yeah. Well, first off, that's the funny thing. So I hear the argument too. Well, this is just extending 1 year compact to let us negotiate. Again, since May, we have had this compact on the table for 16 tribes with the exact same financial terms as last year. So the question is, what's going to change in a year? Why wouldn't they sign that? It has nothing to do with the financial terms. This has to do with getting definition on a civil term now that they can push in the court system. So the amount of money, the other question that Oklahomans need to kind of think about is how much money is being influenced into our elections. One representative that voted not to overturn this told me that 7 different lobbyists, tribal lobbyists, called him over the weekend, different people. The money is on the yes side. Can you guys not see that? The money is on the yes side. The money is on the people that are going to benefit. I don't even begrudge the tribes. They are on that side of the table arguing for the compact that benefits them and their business. What I get frustrated with is I'm on Oklahoma's side, and protecting Oklahoma's legal argument, there was only one compact to get done, and it was this one right here. I was elected by Oklahomans to make sure I protect Oklahoma. That's exactly what I'm doing. And if the legislature is siding with the tribal compact, then they'll have to answer to the voters on that one.
Are you saying that when you say reservation, you're saying the tribes want to expand where they can compact? Is that?
No, I don't think they want to expand where they can compact. I think that they want the reservations. They want to have complete control over their reservation land. Eastern Oklahoma, that's 42% of our state. They don't want the state to be able to tax. They don't want the state to be able to regulate, to prosecute crimes. They don't want the state to be able to enforce municipal laws. That's at least what they've said in their briefs. I don't believe that's what Tulsa wants. That's not what is good for Tulsa to be a successful top 10 city.
Governor, I have one more question. What are your thoughts on the religious school lawsuit?
Well, first off, I believe if you're talking about the charter lawsuit, I love charter schools. I think more school options are good and healthy, and I think that's what Oklahomans want. I always come back to Santa Fe South. Most people don't realize this. They have 4,000 kids at Santa Fe South in their charter school with 1,000 on the waiting list. So the fact that we're the first state to authorize more charter schools and religious charter schools, I think it's a great thing. That means that if the Catholics want to set up a charter school specifically in McAllister, Oklahoma, to educate their community, and parents choose to go there, that's a great thing. And if the Jewish community wants to set up a Jewish charter school, that's an awesome thing. If the Muslims want to set up a charter school and their parents want to go there, that's an awesome thing. Parents want to influence and they want to be involved in their kids' lives. We need more parent involvement. And so charter schools, they're public schools with community management. And so we're made up of communities here in Oklahoma and taxpayers. And so to unlock more school options, I'm always going to be supportive of that.
So with the extension, it's giving you and the tribes an opportunity to negotiate for the next year, at least until December of 2024. Are you actually looking to negotiate, or are you trying to sway tribes into entering into your compact agreement?
Yeah, I have been negotiating and been put this in front of them for the last 2 months at the same financial terms as they had last year. They've refused to sign it. So they have gone around the governor. This all showed up, unbeknownst to me, in the last week of session as we were talking with them. And so they have the compact that they wanted. Do you really think that now that they have the legislature to do what they wanted and get the compact they wanted, they're going to come around and come to the governor's compact, or they're going to go back to the legislature? What do you think is going to happen in a year?
So are you going to try and meet them in the middle then and take parts from what your compact says and what their compact says? Because that would be a negotiation.
I absolutely will not give Eastern Oklahoma over to reservation for all purposes. So if it comes to protecting Oklahoma, 100%, I will not give an inch. Will I do the exact same compact that we've had in place since Governor Walters, Henry, Fallon, Keating, a 50-50 split on tobacco, on tribal stores? Absolutely. That's what I've offered right here. But I will not change the language on my compact, and that's why they obviously went to the legislature. They thought they could get their compact approved. Who do you work for?
Work for Channel 4.
Channel 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, you're not negotiating. You're sticking with your compact.
No,
Even though in this next
I
year-
just explained what I'm doing. I'm not.
I get that, but I get what you're explaining, but it was just a simple question of, it's supposed to be a year of negotiating, but you're saying I'm not giving an inch. This is it.
The question that Oklahomans need to ask themselves is, why haven't they signed this compact It's a 2-year extension instead of pushing a 1-year extension on the same financial terms. And we will continue to offer, but we'll let and see what the courts say because they have got the legislature to give them their compacts, their compact language. Yes, sir.
Is there any chance you'll have that follow-up meeting with Governor Anatoly at Chickasaw?
Well, my team,
Process led right up to the edge of it. And
I'm sorry?
There was a process going on of behind-the-scenes conversations. Both sides saying nice things with the Governor Anatoly. Are you going to be able to have that follow-up meeting, or is there no reason to?
No, well, our door is always open. Our door is always open. I think we have some big issues to discuss for Oklahomans. The tribal tags are one thing that Oklahomans, I want Oklahomans to be made aware of. We've got the Strobel case now before the state Supreme Court. We will always, our doors are open, and you saw all through this, since the month of May, we've had this compact on the table with 16 different tribes, so my team goes back and forth. I'm happy to meet with anybody at any time. But my job is to protect all 4 million Oklahomans and not just do a deal that's good for one industry or one special interest group.